I even held his nose so he would stop snoring.
You have?
He didn't know.
No, I didn't. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
She said, yeah.
I do. I'm like,
Hey, watch us on YouTube, listen on Spotify.
overall, listen to our podcast and follow us on all social media.
Now let's get back to the podcast.
Sincerely, Bestie. Hi, welcome to another episode of Sincerely Bestie. I'm your host, Nancy.
And I'm Krystal.
And today we are talking about cringy stories and hookup stories, or in our relationships and some off Reddit. But first, let's talk about our weekend or what we've been up to lately. What you been up to?
We've been looking at wedding venues. We went and looked at 2 of them. It was kind of crazy and it was a lot. And I was kind of surprised with myself too, because usually like those kind of stuff I get super nervous in my head and then I end up not asking any questions.
Did you ask?
I did.
Good.
Yeah. Because I was going to bring like a notebook and a pen and write everything down, but I think I covered mostly what I needed to know and all of that. So we went, the first one we looked at was the one that Chang wanted. And so we went and looked at it. It's beautiful. But we got lost when we got there.
Oh.
Because we didn't know, well, I think we're just dumb. Because we went in and we walked right past the sign where like it shows you like what floor each different, what's it called? Different shops are in there or whatever. Yeah. And ours is on the top floor because it's called the rooftop. Mm-hmm. And we didn't know that. So I was like, maybe it's in a different door. Because we walked in, it's a dentist's office. And I'm like, maybe it's the wrong door. So, because like when we first pull in, you can see it on the top of the building. It says the rooftop. So I was like, okay, so it's this building, right? So we walk around the whole building, and like the whole entire way around, there's just like those dentist chairs. Oh. And like all around the whole building. And I was like, where are we? And we were already running late because we're always running late. So, I was freaking out because I was like, oh my God, like what if they're like packed today and we're going to lose time looking at the venue and all of that. So Cheng was like, just call. So I called them and then my sister goes in because she's like, I'll just go ask the dentist people what floor it's on or like where it is, you know. And then as soon as she answers, my sister was like, oh, I found it. I clicked on the lady and we went in and we took the elevator. It's on like, I think the 4th floor or something. Mm-hmm. And we go up there and it's so pretty. It's like big and it has like a whole bunch of windows everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I mean, in the photos, it makes it look like in the windows, all you can see is like the city looking and everything, but it's not. It's just like the back of like the countryside. You can see the freeway and all of that. But
and it looks so nice in the picture too.
Yeah, but I think once like you decorate it and set it up, I think it'd be a really, really nice space. Okay. So we looked at that one. I really like that one because when I'm there, I'm trying to imagine myself at my wedding to see like how everything's set up, how it would look in here, how it feels as soon as you walk in. Does it feel like how I want it to feel like? Like, does it feel modern and light and elegant and all of that? And so we really like that one. It was expensive, but not really expensive. It's just expensive with all like the other little fees that add up to it too, because I want to do like an all day rental, and they charge like another $800 on top of that. Yeah. It's a lot. And then they also charge like a $400 alcohol fee. But then that's not even like paying for the bartender.
That's just the fee that they require?
Yeah. So like you pay the alcohol fee and then you also have to use their bartending company and pay them as well. Wow. And I was looking at their packages and you're going to have to look at them with me because I don't know if I'm just overwhelmed and it's a lot. But it's like one of them's like $380 for like this one package, and I'm like, that's a lot and that's freaking expensive. And I'm like, that's like $800, and that's me and that's not even with me purchasing my own alcohol yet.
You have to provide your own alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, oh.
Yeah, so I haven't signed the contract yet. Well, okay, backtrack. I was
like, wait, what?
We'll get back to that. But anyway, so we looked at that and it was expensive, but they didn't have like a ceremony fee or like a security fee, like for security to be there on site.
That's kind of weird. I would assume they're like, you gotta get security.
That's what I thought too. But they said that I just have to put down a security deposit. Mm-hmm. And that's then, yeah, if nothing's damaged, they just give it back to me. So, yeah.
Most places start doing in-house because they're more secured. Mm-hmm. So then they have their own bartender. Yeah. They have their own security. They have their own, pretty much their own company that you just hire. Mm-hmm. Costs a little more, but it's like the hassle of like who's watching this,
Yeah,
who's
finding
bartending.
people and doing all that. Yeah, it's a lot. And then we went and looked at a different one. It's like on like a golf course.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was really nice. Like walking in, they had flowers everywhere. They had a water fountain, and like it was just so pretty. And then we went in, and it wasn't really what I was expecting, I think, because in the pictures it looked like they had like super high ceilings and like beautiful like detailed walls, and like how they had like the little arches and stuff like that. But we went into their first setting. It's down in the first floor because they have 2 floors. And the lady also said they usually on Fridays and Saturdays they have 2 weddings going on at the same time. So that already was like I don't know about that because it's just
I don't want to get it mixed up.
I don't want to get it mixed up and then people getting lost and trying to find that and or like random people at my wedding too. Like that feels weird.
Yeah.
But it's just the first floor. The outside was really pretty because they have like an outside setting and with chairs, and they have like a beautiful like a dome arch where you can like do a ceremony and stuff. So that was pretty. But it had low ceilings, but then they had like this cool other little room that you could put like the bartender in, and it looked nice. And I think that one's a little bit cheaper than the one upstairs. And then we went upstairs, and that one I think had the high ceilings, but it was just weird because like it had the high ceilings and everything, but then there was like another room in the back, and it's kind of where the ceilings like vaulted. Yeah, so like everybody's just kind of like crowded underneath there too, and I was like, that's kind of weird. Yeah, that one wasn't really our favorite, and Cheng didn't like it because he didn't like the 2 weddings, and then he doesn't like how like it's like a golf course, so people are just constantly going in and out. He's like, why is it so busy? So right now we're leaning towards the first one. She already sent me the contract, but Cheng and I are still contemplating because it is expensive and it's also a big decision as well too. And
Are you guys gonna tour more?
We want to, but I'm just so scared because the one that we want right now only has 2 dates available that I want. Yeah, because if not, then I'm gonna have to push it back to like October, and I don't want to get married on October. So unless we push it back another year, but I don't think we want to do that either. So
just keep your schedule open.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's a little hard.
Yeah,
that's hard.
But yeah, so that was my weekend. A lot of decision making and me and Cheng arguing about what we're gonna do, and he was like, "So expensive." And,
girl, weddings are expensive. Cheng, I'm sorry, weddings are expensive.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
They are really expensive.
Because he was like, well, how much do you think we're going to spend on our wedding? And I was like, at least a little over 10 grand. Because like you think just the venue's 5,000 already around there. And you haven't even added photography, the bar, the videography, the food, just all of that. Like it's going to add up really fast. And he was like, why do you want top of the line stuff? I'm like, it's not top of the line, it's just expensive. Like everywhere you go, if you want like a better quality, just a little bit better quality, it's gonna be expensive. It's gonna cost you.
It's gonna cost more.
Yeah. So that's where we are right now in the wedding. But I don't know. We have until I think Tuesday to decide. Well, by then when you guys see this, we'll probably have decided already. So
I hope so.
Yeah.
Let me know.
What about you, Nance?
Oh my God, how have I been doing? I got my bridesmaid dress.
Oh, yes.
We got my bridesmaid dress, but then it didn't turn out how we were wanting it. So I returned that one, and then I'm waiting on another one to come in. It should be in, like, soon. Really soon. So I'm waiting for that one to come in to see. Okay. Hopefully that one's better. Because nobody's gotten their dress.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask.
Nobody's gotten their dress because
they're waiting.
My sister told me that I need to get mine first, and then they can base all theirs out under me. And I'm like, why? Just get your dress. She's like, because I don't want them to like outdo your dress. And I'm like, I guess whatever. I don't have to be bridesmaid. Like I'm like, okay, but I'm pretty sure because everybody already knows I'm the maid of honor too. So I'm like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
So I'm waiting on that. I did have to help my sister with her Halloween costume. Okay. That was a mess. Oh. This room was a mess.
Really?
It was a mess before.
Oh, gosh.
It was like feathers everywhere. And so she told me, she was like, hey, I'm going to need you to sew, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll sew.
Yeah.
She's sewing. She cannot sew. I love you, sister. She cannot sew worth crap.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was bad.
It was bad. I had to redo it for her, and I was like, just let me do it. I was like, you need to go take some sewing class. Mm-hmm. So I ended up just sewing it all for her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you're the maid of honor.
She did have to hand stitch some of it, just because it was a little harder. Oh. So I was like, it's okay.
What was her costume?
Those white chicks.
That's so fun.
The one with where they're like on the runway with the feathers. By the time everybody hears that, yeah.
The swan too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's gonna be so fun.
She even like made the beak.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, I can't with you. Yeah, because I think at first they were gonna do Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
And then my brother-in-law didn't want it, so I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, can you help me with this? And I was like, yeah, I'll help you. Mm-hmm. Knowing me, I'm gonna have to help her with all that. But yeah. And then I've just like kind of just been helping her plan a little bit more with the wedding stuff. That's really it.
That's good though.
Mm-hmm. Just busy planning.
No, weddings are not. Yeah, they're not to be played around, man. They're real.
Yep.
And I was over here like, oh, I'm not gonna spend a lot of money, and now I'm like,
it's expensive.
I think that's why we're second guessing too.
It's expensive. So I'm like, yeah, even with ours, like mine and Robert, it wasn't even that much. But like when I think about it, I'm like, I probably didn't have to spend some of my money on the stuff I bought.
Yeah,
like it was a waste of money.
That's why I'm like trying to cut costs where I can, because I'm like, I want to spend money where I want to, like where like the photography and stuff. Like I really want that to be where my money is spent with, because I want those memories of my family and with me and Chang and all of that. And also the videography, because people always tell me they regret not having that.
Heck yeah.
So for sure, I would love to have that too. So.
It'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be so nice. All right, let's start with some hookup stories that we have from Reddit. I don't know. I'm gonna just read some stories.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so this one it said, I lost my virginity in the bathroom at a big party. This girl was not attractive at all.
That's so sad.
When she was giving me heads, I asked if she wanted to have sex, to which she replied with my dick in her mouth. Little did I know my friends were listening on the other side of the door. To this day, I asked them if they want to do something. Take a shot, go out to eat, etc. They'll respond with it.
Ew, I can't.
Heck no. There's this other one. It says, I was 20 years old and having drinks in town with my older sister and a few of her friends, and I remember running into an older woman who was an acquaintance of my mother. I vaguely remember having shots of tequila and dancing with this woman. Skip forward to the end of the night. Somehow we ended up at my parents' cabin / guest house and crazy sex all night. I wake up to my mom and dad coming in to get the place ready for a renter. We both had a kind of oh shit look on our faces, and my mom just looked around, said good morning, and left to make coffee. Mom and her sat and had coffee for a solid hour while my dad flipped out on me for being stupid and breaking into the guest house and sleeping with my mother's friend. 10 years later, my mother has never mentioned it.
Yeah, she better
I feel like
not.
that's so weird. Like, why? Why?
That's a little too much for me.
That's a little much. Like, I feel like, yeah, you may be into older, like, women or men, but, like, your parents' friends, I feel like that should be, like, off limits completely. Like, you can daydream about them, you can have that crush, whatever, but do not ever have sex with them. Like,
that's just
you know how weird that is for your parents, and then for you when you see that person.
Or just don't get caught, man. That's so bad. I can't imagine waking up and be like, oh, hey,
hi, we're just making coffee.
They're like, what are you doing? And then she comes out and you're like, oh.
Let's see. Krystal, what in the world?
They're so funny. I'm like,
this
stuff happens.
This one says, short version. First time hooking up with a dude, I period all over his bed.
That's so sad.
That poor
Sis, you
stain.
didn't know? Yeah.
That poor stain. And that ain't easy to get off.
I bet he was like, yeah, no more of those.
This one says, the next day my penis looked like I was blown by a piranha.
What was she doing? I want to know.
So master this.
What the heck?
Have you had a Bloody Mary?
Know what that is?
Bro, it's when you have sex when you're on your period.
Oh, I mean, once, but after that, Ching was like, nah.
Some people prefers it.
Yeah, Ching can't.
But it's like the best time.
It is, but like, because like, of course, your hormones are like crazy.
Everywhere, yeah.
And like, you're like crazy. You just want it. But then he's like, nah, you don't want to. So
It's
he's
like,
like,
that ain't my cup of tea.
he's like, I don't like to see my thing all covered. So no thanks. So he's like,
I only do it when I'm like really in the mood though. I
no, but that's like
the mood.
When I'm on my period, I'm always in the freaking mood. Like, it's so bad. Yeah. Or like right before I'm going to start, it always flares up, and I'm like,
yeah, no, I have my moment. That's when I know I'm gonna start my period too, though. Is when I'm in the mood. I'll be like, "What's wrong with you?" I don't know.
You're all touchy all of a sudden, huh?
So the physical aspect, you just give heads up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's happy days for the guys. But.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump to this one. I didn't read. Krystal sent me this one, but I didn't read it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna all read it together
it's so nasty.
and talk
Make sure
about
you're not eating while we tell this story.
Disclaimer. I've posted and reposted the story a couple times when it's relevant. This is one of those cases. In college, I had a bit of a dry spurt. I went to Craigslist to try and get some quick, easy sex. Can you really do that on Craigslist?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the heck? Is it Craigslist just for like selling?
No, it's also
That is selling, girl.
I went to a big school with a lot of other schools in this area, so I figured I'd probably find someone in the same situation as me on the other side of the fence. I'm the type that would bang anything, so I responded to every ad on there. There was a bunch of bots that sent replies, and one actual girl responded. She was 19, described as a BBW, and boy was she right. When she sent her body pic, it looked like she took up the entire bed. I mean, she was huge, at least 300 pounds and 6 feet tall. I wasn't expecting that. I'm a big guy myself, standing 6'2" and weighing about 200. Give or take 15 pounds, depending on the season. But this girl looked way bigger. That night, when she responded, I told her I only had a couple of hours, which she convinced me wasn't enough time. So we set up a session for later that week at her dorm. I made sure to set up the appointment for during the day, as I didn't want her to figure out my name from the security desk where you have to give your ID to and go up into the building past the lobby. I get to her room. She answers the door. Jesus Christ, she is huge. Easily makes me look like a small guy, and she was taller too. I felt like I was Princess Leia with a dick about to stick it into Jabba's sandy pussy. Holy fuck! What was I getting myself into? I'm wondering the same.
I'm so scared.
We sat on her bed and have some awkward small talk. She whips out a bowl and we smoke. Eventually, she asked me if this was the first time I'd answer an ad like that. It was, and I asked her the same. It wasn't. And catching this as a cue, I whip my dick out and she gets to work. This was honestly the best blowjob I've ever received. She did everything perfect, from working the head and the shaft, cupping the balls, doing crazy shit with her tongue. If everything that happened after it didn't happen, I would have called her forever for blowjobs. She even said she loved giving them and could do it for hours. Eventually, though, she wants to get fucked, and I was not ready for what came next. She gave me a condom, and while I strapped it on, she assumed the doggy position, and this awful foul stench seeped out of her pussy.
What's she doing?
What in the world?
Read an answer.
It was a combination of general lack of hygiene, a mystery of abuse, and maybe a STD. I got checked afterwards if there was one there. Thank God for condoms. For a second, I froze. All my instinct told me to get all my clothing on and run out there. While I hesitated, she popped out and said, "Oops, forgot something," and went under her bed. From there, she pulled out a giant black red tarp and laid it over the bed. What the fuck is this? I asked. I want to know what the fuck it is too. I'm a bit of a square. That's what I read earlier. Instinct to run gone. At this point, I had never been with a squirter, and even though this woman...
Wait a minute. I don't know what it is with guys and squirting.
With girls being squirters?
Yeah. They're so into that.
It's messy.
Keep reading.
Oh, gosh. Let's see. At this point, I never been with a squirter, even though this woman was foul in all other way. I manned up and got behind her. As I entered, it didn't feel good, and the smell got worse, but I kept on Meanwhile, she's honking and hollering, and I'm starting to gag, literally gagging as I'm humping this, what, behemoth?
BBW.
Oh. I grab my shirt and wrap it around my face, and it barely helps. But that little bit is keeping my lunch in my stomach, so I continue. She turns back as I'm fucking her doggy to see me now wearing this shirt as a face mask bandana thing. And somehow this turns her on and starts orgasm. And I was not ready for what came next. I'm a bit of a squirter. Geyser erupted. Juice literally exploded from her vagina and everything behind her was covered. Me, the tarp, the bedpost, the wall, her random goth band posters, her desk from the splash, my clothes on the floor the same way. If it was in the line of sight of that vagina, it was covered. I pulled out and surveyed the damage for a second and momentarily freaked out. Jesus Christ, what the fuck just happened? I'm not done. Without hesitation, I jumped back in for the next hour, maybe 2 hours. I humped the shit out of her in every position possible, catching the worst angles and grinding against the grossest of boils while she covered everything in that room with cum. She hit the fucking ceiling all at one point. It was like someone cut the major cum artery. It was absurd and one of the grossest experiences of my life, one of the greatest as well. She was one of the most disgusting people I've ever met, for sure the most disgusting I've ever fucked. But maybe someone come like their old faithful for hours on it and made me feel like a man in some fucked up way. Yeah, that was my dick that was making you gush. Ha ha ha. Someone give me a steak. When we were done, she sucked my dick until I came. I only came once. The smell was so grotesque that I had a hard enough time not puking, let alone staying hard while we were fucking. By then, though, I was so tired from all the work I put in, I pretty much was half asleep in the puddle of her nasty ass vagina juice. Ew. While she sucked every last drop from my dick. It was insane. Put my clothes on and left and grabbed a bus back to my apartment. When I sat down, a couple of people actually got up and moved to another seat because I smelled so bad, but I didn't care. A couple weeks later, we met up and fucked again at her place, but it wasn't the same. I focused more of her flaws instead of the insane surprise of that fire hydrant between her legs. 3 months later, I bought acid from this kid, and she knew him and came in during the deal, tripping herself. We went back to her room, and she sucked my dick while the walls melted. After that, I never saw or talked to her again. Oh, that's gosh.
So it's crazy that people have like these hookup stories like this, though.
That is crazy.
Like, I would never get hookup culture, but that, like me, I would have ran out of there. But then you feel so bad too. Oh my gosh.
Because you're the one asking for the ass. No. The kind of. It's kind of funny because it reminds me of my brother.
Oh no. Why?
I think it was at a rave.
Should I tell the story?
Yeah, I'll have Robert tell it because he probably remembers it more than I do.
Okay.
So there's this club, right? This club, and then so Nancy's brother tends to attract bigger women.
Oh.
So then, when he was at this club, they were drinking, and this bigger woman came up to him, was like, "I'm into Asian guys." So then he sought the opportunity to try to get laid for the first time.
Okay.
So he went back to her place, assuming, and then they were making out and all this and that, and then she undressed. And then, so before that, this was his first time, so he masturbated ahead of time to try last longer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when he went over, they were making out. She undressed, and then he was on top, like missionary style. But when he inserted it, he got a whiff of
It was her
BO.
body odor. My brother has a thing with body odor.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
So one of his pet peeves is BO.
Body odor.
So then after that, he dismounted and he was like, "I'm gonna just go," and just left her there and at her house or wherever she was. And then he just came back and told us this story.
Yeah.
He went, oop. Nope. Nope.
But I just don't understand, like, before you, like, anybody has, like, do you not, like, go wash yourself? Like,
That's what
do you
I'm
not-
saying.
You're stinky. Yeah. Like,
That's why I'm like, that's crazy. Like, people who, like, hook up at the club, right? You're, like, dancing and, like, sweating.
and
There's so many people.
gross.
And then you go and hook up, and I'm like,
There's a few things on their mind. One thing is to get laid.
yes.
Yeah.
Other thing is your pet peeves. So if you're there to get laid, no matter the stench, no matter the situation, you get laid.
care.
You're going to do it.
But
yeah.
your pet peeve kicks in. Your little buddy's not going to get up or anything. So that's what happened.
Oh, no. I would have been so sad.
I don't know. That story. Krystal, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, huh? I read it and I was standing there. I was like, what the heck am I reading? That's why I kept telling you. I was like, Nancy, I don't know if we should read this one. And
That's a crazy hookup story.
yeah. And like, I printed them out too. And I kept being like, don't forget about them. Don't forget about them. Because if anybody finds these papers, they're going to be like, what is she?
What is she reading?
What is she reading? She taking these home back for herself? Or what are these for?
Yeah. Oh, we could start on the cringe one.
You want to do that instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the cringy stories. Do you have any?
I do, but it's not like to this
To
extent.
this extent?
Yeah. Because some of
Oh,
these I'm like, ooh.
I don't think I do. Robert, that I can think of.
Our cringe stories?
I don't think we really have any cringe stories. Cringy stories. I'm a little scared. I read some of these.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Made an account just so I could finally tell this cringe-worthy story. High school girlfriend and I used to make out on her bed with the door locked while her parents were out there under the impression we're studying. Heavy kissing, and at some point she says, cut that out. Your breath stinks. Start kissing her neck, and she slowly wraps her legs around my thigh. A couple minutes later, she starts breathing heavily. A couple minutes after that, her legs tighten around my thigh. Couple minutes after that, she suddenly goes rigid. Eyes roll up till I see whites. Rapid breathing, exhaling heavily. I panic, and this is my retarded thought process. Since all my blood's left my brain, she's choking. I should give her CPR, but she said no kissing on her mouth. So I close my lips around her nose and blow it like a trumpet. She starts coughing immediately, but she's too polite to cuss me out. Says she needs a drink of water and leaves the room. We continue to go out for 6 years after that. Didn't realize girlfriend was having an orgasm. Thought she was dying. Tried to save her by blowing squirt breath straight into her nose. I am a moron.
That's
what I
embarrassing.
To keep telling them too. Oh my god. If Jane kept telling me that over and over, I just want to hide underneath the rock.
Yeah.
He's orgasm?
Huh?
He's orgasm?
No, she did.
She was orgasm. She was having an orgasm, but her eyes were like rolled, so he thought she was choking.
So, and she told him not to kiss him. So instead, he blew air into her nose. I'm dead. Let's see. I lost my virginity to my first girlfriend. I was about 16 at the time and was invited over to stay the night because her dad was on a business trip. I was excited because have talked a bunch about having sex and I was ready to finally lose my virginity. I get to her house and we are straight to action. She pulls down my pants and my dick is as limp as a top ramen noodle. She sucked me off for about 30 minutes until I could get at least half a chub. I put in a missionary and started humping. I didn't know what to do with my hands, and at the time, I knew that people pull hair during sex. So shit you not. I stare at her missionary position and take 2 hands full of her hairs on both sides and just pull in a downward thrust while I'm humping. I sometimes think of this moment and want to disappear. I would just hide. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, this one's so freaking funny.
Number 3?
Yeah, did you read it? Okay. I almost completely erased this memory. So I was young and I had my first boyfriend. We were experimenting sexually and I really wanted him to think my pussy tasted nice. So I would literally rub strawberry fucking flavored lip gloss in my vagina.
Did I not burn your vagina? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Okay, and then there's no way he didn't know. I thought it was such a genius idea that I had to share it with my fellow woman. So I wrote it down and passed a note in class to one of my friends. It dropped on the floor and all the boys read it and started screaming, laughing. Strawberry lips was my new name and I cried for a week.
That is sad.
Did you ever try like stuff to make your, vagina smell nice or taste nice?
No.
Girl, I tried eating pineapple.
Well, like, yeah, I feel like pineapple, yeah. Mm-hmm. But, like...
I don't even know if that works. How much pineapple do I have to eat, though? Is my question.
To make it, like, that I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Did Ching ever question you that it tasted bad?
Sometimes. I don't think he ever says anything because it probably hurt my feelings.
Yeah. No, like... Lip gloss?
Lip gloss. Strawberry lip gloss.
Lip gloss?
Can you imagine?
Even
right before sex, you're like...
Strawberry lip gloss, I'm like, ugh.
I'm surprised he didn't say anything either, but he's a G for not saying anything.
Lip gloss is sticky too, though.
I know. Oh, no. That's gross.
Yeah.
He probably thought it tasted bad. It did the opposite effect. This one, I wrote this one because, like, I want to know if you guys ever did this. Number 4.
Okay.
Never talked when we actually saw each other, but texted constantly when we weren't in the same room. So did you guys ever, like...
saw each other, but texted
But I feel like you guys, like... were older, too, though. Because, like, me and Jake, like, we'd be so nervous. Like, we'd see each other, but we wouldn't talk to each other for, like, hours.
I don't know, because, like, when he was with his friends, like... He would just leave me. Oh. So then I would have to text him. Mm-hmm. But, like, otherwise, no.
In situations where we're out and about, yeah, we'll text each other, but we won't say anything.
Oh, okay.
Like that? You guys do that?
Yeah, we do that. But, like, when Cheng and I first dated, we'd be so nervous.
You guys wouldn't, like, talk to each other in person. You guys
like,
just would text.
We'd just be texting, so when you going to come over here? When you gonna come over here? And what, am I supposed to look like the thirsty one and go over there? Like, I don't think so. You're just with all the boys and here I'm over here sitting next to you. Like, that's so weird. It should be where he gets up and he comes and sits next to me, right? Because now they're all gonna be like, oh, she wants our son. I'm like, bro. I don't. He wanted me first. So.
I initiate.
Huh?
I initiate because I'm the talkative one.
Oh. Yeah. No.
Okay.
I don't know how it would have been. I'm like, dang, you can't even come talk to me?
Mm-hmm. That was me.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's nasty. And if any men do this, you need to change.
Which number?
Number 7.
Okay.
Okay, so had my first relationship at age 17. We were each other's first for everything. Basically, only ever gave him handjobs because he wasn't very hygienic. He insisted on keeping his underwear on, so I'd have to rub him over his boxers. He'd come inside the boxers and then leave them on for the rest of the day. The odd time he didn't have boxers on, he'd go grab a sock and come inside of it and throw it in the laundry pile. His mom did all the laundry. So disgusting every time I think of it. Like,
ew, what in the world?
Ew. Ew. Ew.
No. When it comes to any of your body parts like that, I feel like you got to be very hygienic. Like, have good hygienes. Like, ew.
And Chang doesn't even like the feeling afterwards. Like, it has to be clean afterwards. I can't imagine.
It should be clean after.
You just come inside of it, put your pants back on, and roll out.
Yeah.
Like, ew. Like, it stinks. It has a distinct smell. Yeah. Okay? So, everybody gonna know as soon as you walk around. That smells, man.
No.
So you shower before and after?
Heck yeah. You're supposed to.
Well, I
You
showered
should.
before. And then after, I just crank my, what is it called? My tushy.
Uh-huh.
What is it called, Robert?
I know what you're talking about.
Bidet, yeah. I just crank that shit up. Go back and forth. And
No,
then
I've been told you're supposed to wash.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
But
Keep it clean.
you're supposed to wash it, like, with, like, an unscented soap. That's what I heard. You should wash it with an unscented soap because if you do a scented soap, then it might start to smell after. But I mean, there's those pills that supposedly you take and it smells fine down there.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
Or have you seen those ones
don't
where
use
you like
those.
push up?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, a syringe and you just kind of push it up and
What the heck?
cleans it out or something.
It's like a douche.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think I'd be too scared to do that.
Me too.
I'd rather just take
wash
whatever
afterwards.
pill they have for that, so it doesn't smell.
Yeah, no, and Chang and I were always scared about like getting pregnant too. So like I'd always have to like wash up afterwards. So.
Plan B. My first makeout session. We could do that one. Number 9. That one's long.
Yeah.
We got time.
Okay. My first makeout session with someone was with my first girlfriend. We were in her bedroom, turned off the lights, and went at it on the floor of her room. After a while, felt something wet on my face. I didn't want to stop, so I ignored it and carried on. She notices it too and decides to turn on the light because something is really wet on our faces. Light comes on and turns out I had a massive nosebleed and there was blood everywhere. I was covered in it, she was covered in it, and there was blood stains all over her room.
Oh my gosh.
Ew, can you imagine the carpet?
No.
If that wasn't embarrassing enough, when she went to the bathroom to clean up, her mom caught her in the hallway. She sees the blood and immediately screams. Her assumption was that I was beating her daughter up and I got chucked out of the house. Took a long time in explaining for me to show my face there again. Also lost my virginity to the same girl to cool and the gang celebrate. That was cringy as hell.
Dude, no.
You guys ever have bloody nose doing the deed?
No.
Oh, poor Chang. He does.
Really?
Yeah.
Often?
No, not often.
Oh.
But once in a while, like when the air is super dry,
No.
he'll get them a lot.
I'd be like, we're done.
Oh, for
I
real?
don't want, no, we're good. No.
This is one I wrote down because I don't know if you guys did this. Is talk on the phone every night until one of us fell asleep because I wanted to hear you breathe.
Yes.
Yeah, we. Did that
Robert
too.
I wouldn't fall asleep until he fell asleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he sleeps first.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he would sleep first. And this was on FaceTime.
Oh wow. Y'all are
So we would be
dedicated.
on it, and I would tell him, like, you can go sleep. I'll hang up once you
Yeah.
fall asleep. So I will seriously, like, do whatever and have the phone there with him sleeping. And then until I can hear him snore, then I'll hang up.
Wow.
And then when I woke up, I'll FaceTime her.
Yeah, that's what me and Jim would do too. But it was just over the phone. But then I would sleep first.
Oh, you would sleep first?
Yeah, I would sleep first, and then I'd wake up, and he fell asleep too. So I'd hear him breathing, and I just fall back asleep.
Oh, yeah, no. Robert always had to fall asleep first.
Oh, do you guys still do that now too? Then, or do you usually fall
No, I
asleep?
fall asleep first.
Oh,
Because he snores.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, if it was him falling asleep first, oh my gosh.
He had bruises everywhere.
Yeah. I'd be like, dude, smack him.
Up.
I've even held his nose
Oh.
so he'll stop snoring.
You have?
He didn't know.
No, I didn't. I don't know about this.
Yeah.
She said, "Yeah."
I do. I'm like,
Jane does the same thing to me, so it's okay.
if it's really bad, I will do it.
That's so mean, huh, Robert?
If it's really bad.
No,
We're just trying to breathe.
I think I'm too deep of sleep.
Yeah, he's too deep in sleep. Then he's just like, oh, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
That's
Chang's
what
like,
it is.
he's like, you'll wake up and you'll be like, you go back to sleep. I'm like, and if I stop breathing, how rude.
I'm surprised you haven't done that to me. I don't do it often.
Girl, I'll wake you up.
I do it sometimes. Yeah, you do. That's
Yeah.
Shake her. I'll be like,
you're snoring. You're snoring. Oh, okay. Or you're like when you know, like sometimes you'll lightly fall asleep.
Yeah.
So he'll do that, and then he'll snore, and then he'll wake up. Did I just snore? I'm like,
I hate doing that. Do you ever do that?
Yeah.
I do that too. I'm like mid. I'm like, what is that noise? Is that me? I wake up. I'm like, oh my god, it is me.
Yes. Oh
I
gosh.
literally hate that.
Cringy stories. I don't really have any like crazy stories. I mean, like.
Huh.
Yeah.
What?
I'm like, I don't think I have any crazy stories.
I have one that I thought of the other day, and I cringed again thinking about it. Man. But I mean, it's not horrible, but at the same time, I think about it and I hate it. So this was when I was still living in Spanish Fork, and I came up to visit Chang, but I came super late because I used to work at Walmart, so I'd get off at like, I think 10 or 11, and I'd just drive straight to Ogden, so I'd get usually up here around like not noon, but like midnight or 1 in the morning. And so I got there, I fell asleep, and then I think Chang had to go to work the next day too. So, but he didn't tell nobody I was there.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was in his room, I was sleeping, and he had a twin size bed, so it didn't really fit on there. So his mom gave us like blankets, so we would like put the blankets on the floor and stuff. And so he left, he locked his door, and he was like, I'll be back, blah blah. And I'm like, okay. So he leaves, he goes to work, and I'm in there sleeping. But then I can kind of hear his brothers and them like running around, and his nephews, they're all talking and stuff, but they don't know I'm there. And then I hear like the door kind of like someone's trying to get in, right? And I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? You know, because nobody knows I'm here.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna freaking kill myself. I was like, well, maybe like they won't get in, you know, it's fine. So I text Chang and I'm like, hey, like I think your brother's trying to get in. Can you just like text him that I'm in here? But he's working, so he doesn't see my message.
Oh gosh.
And because it looks bad, okay, this all looks bad.
Yeah.
And then I hear them get like one of those what are those tools that are like kind of, I guess it's like a flathead, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they turn the knob, and I freak out. I'm like, oh my god. So I grab the blanket and I roll with it, trying to go into his bed, get caught in between the bed and the floor.
Oh my
and
gosh.
his brother opens the door, and I'm stuck in between the bed.
This girl.
Oh my god.
Did he know you were
I
in there?
wanted to kill myself. And he was just like, oh. And he closes the door. And I'm just sitting there underneath the bed. I'm like, freaking kill myself right now, dude.
Oh my god.
I can't. That's so freaking embarrassing. I'm cringing so hard. So I like unfolded myself from the blanket and I just sat there.
You're just like, oh my gosh.
And I just kept calling Chang till he answered me. And I was like, you left me here. Come get me now. I don't want to be here anymore.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, what happened? I'm like telling him, but
He probably thought it was so funny, huh?
yeah, he did. I told the story to my friends, and we literally almost peed. And they were just like, you're so stupid. You should have just opened the door. And I'm like, they didn't know I was there. Like, it felt weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah, so it looked bad. It looked bad that I was in there. And he was just like, oh, okay. And he closed the door. I was like, But yeah, that's the only cringe story I have, honestly.
I don't know if this is really cringy though. Because it was like when Robert was still living in California.
Okay.
He shared a room with his brother.
Okay.
So there's 2 beds. I don't know if you remember this. Your face looked like you don't remember it. So we just did it.
Okay.
And we're under the blanket. And it's summer. I'm pretty sure it was summer. And it was hot.
Oh, gosh.
So, like, I don't think I was under the blanket. The blanket was there. And Robert gets a knock on the door.
Oh, my God.
He's like, what type of thing? And then the brother was like, oh, I need to come in and grab whatever. And we're like naked, okay? We are naked. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
So, Robert puts on like his boxer. I'm like freaking under the blanket, acting like I'm freaking asleep. Brother comes in. I'm still acting like I'm asleep. He grabs whatever, and then he leaves. And then I think later on he actually talked about it.
Oh, he did?
And he was just like, I just kind of always wonder, like, why was Nancy under the blanket when it was so hot in the room? I was like, oh my God.
You know what was happening.
Oh my God.
You walked into the smell. You knew what had happened already.
I was like, oh
But
my
he has
God.
never smelt it before.
I don't know about that, but he says, like, when I did have conversations with him, he said he can tell by the smell in the room.
Probably because it smells different from what it usually
so
smells
that
like.
could be it. But then, yeah, I was like,
I would kill myself.
how did he...
Such bad timing.
I know. I'm like acting like I'm sleeping in the freaking hot ass blanket. Robert opens the door and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure his brother ever since then is like,
It's okay as long as it's not on his bed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's why he bought a new bed for himself.
Oh.
he thought we did it on the guest bed.
Oh. He was like,
He was
this
like,
one's
no.
nasty.
Yeah.
Just check it out.
Because like whenever we had like a place, I always wanted to have like the extra bed just in case.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, yeah, I can go get the air mattress, but I'm like, oh, whatever. I'll just get that mattress. So he always thought that we did it on the extra bed.
What? Well, you guys had your own bed? What the heck?
So I don't know.
I don't know, because there's some people that have like a goal to like
Have sex everywhere.
in every room, every counter.
I can't. I think that's so gross.
I could have like Airbnb, hotel, but not in my own house.
No, because you eating everywhere.
What if you get a
and all
sniff
that.
of something? You're like, ooh.
No, thank you.
Or your family's like, it kind of smells weird. That's so gross.
All right, I think that ends our episode. If you guys have any crazy hookup stories or like cringy stories,
know.
let us know. I really want to know.
I
Like you
know.
can just DM us too, okay? Like I wouldn't want you to feel uncomfortable if you left it in the comments. So DM us. We would like to read the stories. But yes, follow us on all of our social media. We're on YouTube, Discord, Facebook, TikTok,
Instagram.
Spotify,
All of them.
yeah, and Apple Music. But until next time, this is Sincerely Bestie.
Bye.
Bye.